improved herd health, and profitable production. They're the goals of every herd management program. Using FASTRACK direct-fed microbials in your dairy operation can improve the health and production of your herd.
We've been using FASTRACK now on and off for about 6-7 years on our 300 cow herd in central Minnesota. We've been on a constant now for about a year. We did try a different product for about 2 weeks, and after about a week and a half into it, the dry matter intake started decreasing, and we switched back to FASTRACK, and it came right back up again. Dry matter intake and herd health, I would say, would be the biggest advantages of the FASTRACK.
With FASTRACK, you have less displaced abomasums, you have less cows go off feed, you have less cows having downtime at freshening or when they're being trucked. You just have an improved situation where the immune system is stronger, the cow's getting more good out of what she's eating, she goes off less feed, and she wants to do what she's made to do, and that's give lots of milk for a long period of time.
The cow is such a complex animal, and they're sensitive, and it doesn't take a whole lot to get them off track. So I think what the FASTRACK does, and the reason we feed it, is to keep them on track, to make sure they don't get sick.
If we can keep that newly fresh cow on feed, that we don't get irregular eating, not eating one day, overeating the next, therein lies a great deal of the problem. And there are many other components to this, but FASTRACK has really helped us with this steady appetite.
FASTRACK direct-fed microbials are a mix of naturally occurring bacteria and yeast. By adding beneficial bacteria to the digestive tract, we're able to gain control of the digestive system. Direct-fed microbials increase appetite and allow maximum absorption of the nutrients in feed.
We breed cows with strength. We breed for that. And the thinking is that if we have a cow with strength, she can eat enough roughage, so I don't have to buy the expensive bone meal and other additives that some people use. Even our grain, the amount of grain that we feed is probably less than what most people do, again, because we want them to eat the roughage. It's the cheapest sweet feed we can get into them, and with the FASTRACK, they keep eating and eating, and we've had cows milking 150 pounds without all those fancy, expensive additives.
Among those who have used FASTRACK, increased appetite and feed efficiency are cited as two of its most important benefits.
When dairymen start using FASTRACK, we see that they'll call and say that the appetites of their cows has gone up, their total dry matter intake has increased, and their production goes up along with butterfat test and protein test. And that is benefits, the direct benefits that you'll see from FASTRACK.
There are several ways that FASTRACK is involved in increasing intake. If you get better conversion, you're probably going to have a little faster passage rate, because actually the limitation on intake is room and fill. And so if we can convert and utilize those nutrients a little bit faster, ultimately you'll end up with more intake, which basically 1 pound of extra intake converts to 2 pounds of milk.
Dairy owners report that direct-fed microbials also help reduce the effects of stress on their animals. Because they are always in top form, FASTRACK cows show fewer signs of strain from transport, feed changes, heat, and other environmental changes.
Well, certainly when you show animals, some cases the animals are trucked as much as 1,000 or 2,000 miles. That's a lot of stress for an animal to be able to come off a truck and be able to go in a show ring 2 or 3 days later. Probiotics are designed to improve absorption. They get more good out of what they eat, and they can handle stress a little better. Their immune system is more superior. They have less downtime. They have less struggles with stress. Stress doesn't affect them in a negative way, and that's why they show people really like the product.
We also, I should add, we feed the FASTRACK product to our show calves, and we especially feed it to the whole show string when we're at the shows. We do everything possible to make sure that the cow's system keeps working good.
It just absolutely makes an incredible difference to have these animals on FASTRACK during heat stress. You'll find increased intakes, you'll find a more steady appetite, even in acute heat stress, lower rectal temperature, less respirations per minute, and more milk yield per day. And that's very trackable.
By improving the overall health of a cow, owners report that FASTRACK products also increase the life of their herds.
At any one time, we've probably got 8, 10, 12 cows that are 10, 12, 14 years old. And those are the ones that were paid for a long time ago. They're making us money. They're producing calves. So we get a milk check from them. We get calf from them. Rather than turning them over, it helps out financially, substantially. And I think, again, it goes back to nothing going wrong with the cow while she's milking. And again, one of the things we do is, or can attribute that to, is the FASTRACK, so that stomach doesn't get in trouble, so it keeps working.
All farmers want their cows to live longer. And of the herds that have been on FASTRACK with extremely high production, we're seeing those cows lasting 4 to 8 months longer on the average than cows without FASTRACK.
Another major benefit is milk production. FASTRACK direct-fed microbials have helped hundreds of herds increase their production.
So FASTRACK and a probiotic can give you an increase in milk production the first year you're on it. But the next year you can have an increase even as big or bigger than what you had the first year. So there's an additive effect that when an animal becomes more efficient, utilizing a probiotic that improves absorption, she just might go on and make a bigger record the next year. So that we're really excited about.
In a herd that 3 times now they've taken FASTRACK out just to see what difference it would make in their herd. Within 7 days after they removed the FASTRACK, they 3 times now they have sustained a 5-pound milk drop per head per day, and when they add it back, they recover that. So that's quite dramatic.
And along with increased milk production, protein and butter fat stay up or even increase too.
When you see cows improve their milk production as a benefit from FASTRACK, you'll also see in many cases improved butterfat test a point or 2 or 3, and we've been impressed with the fact that it raises protein 2 or 3 or 4 points. Many dairymen using FASTRACK will run between 3.3, 3.4, and 3.5% protein, and that they're really happy with, because a lot of dairies are paying on pounds protein rather than on pounds milk. And this is the only product that I know in America that will help raise protein tests time after time, year after year, cow after cow.
I don't think there's any question that there's increased production. And as I said before, there's no question. I think one thing it definitely does is it increases your fat and your protein.
Our fat is running about 3.7 and the protein is about 3.2, which is about the same as it has been. But in history, if our milk went up, our protein and fat went down, and now it's been holding.
This is one thing that we've really noticed with FASTRACK, and through better intakes and conversion of those products, we're able to maintain very significant protein levels, and as well as butterfat.
FASTRACK-fed cows are setting production records across the country. Hundreds have achieved production of over 40,000 pounds of milk. 2 dozen have reached over 50,000 pounds of milk, and a couple of cows have finished at over 60,000 pounds of milk.
To the best of my knowledge, there's no other product on the market that can make that claim. So when you can, boast the 40,000 pound records, and you've got some cows that have also done over 50,000, and that's just a tremendous credit to the product.
Discover how FASTRACK direct-fed microbials can positively impact your herd's health, feed efficiency, and production.
We've used FASTRACK and observed it basically since the product came out some 10, 11, 12 years ago. And several benefits have been noticed. Increase in peak milk, increased persistency, increased components, butterfat and protein.
We milk milking Shorthorns and Holsteins, and our herd average has increased about 2,000 pounds in the past year. We have a high protein test in our tank. We're testing about 3.6 or so, a lot due to FASTRACK. Since we've been on FASTRACK, our protein's been up quite a bit.
What we see is if they stay on the product long term, everything goes better, works better. And the second year on the product is better than the first, and the third year is better than the second.
Many users of FASTRACK report that their vet bills have been cut in half, and that the vet bill savings almost pays for the FASTRACK used in their dairy.
As far as the use of FASTRACK in dairy cattle, we have been extremely happy with it. It is cost justifiable.
Try FASTRACK for yourself and bring out the best in your herd.